Let me think about if I want to do government contracts. Well, how soon can I land a government contract? That's one of the biggest questions we get, right? How soon can I land a government contract? Well, there's a lot of factors that goes into it. What is your worth ethic like? Nobody can really answer that question for you, right? Like you cannot go into a situation like creating failure, like asking the wrong questions. You have to ask the right question. You have to face the factors that goes into contracting, right? So some of the factors are a lot of times people what I mean by that is a lot of times people are like, let me think about if I want to do government contracts. Well, how soon can I land a government contract? That's one of the biggest questions we get, right? How soon can I land a government contract? Well, there's a lot of factors that goes into it. What is your worth ethic like? Nobody can really answer that question for you, right? Like you cannot go into a situation like creating failure, like asking the wrong questions. You have to ask the right question. And one of the wrong questions is how soon can I land a government contract? Because you're waiting for someone to give you a false reality or something that they cannot promise. And if they promised a certain date, well, especially when it comes to government contracts, if you get promised a certain date, right? You can get a time frame, right? Especially like if you have a strategy, we can give you like a time frame. But if you give you a certain specific date and that you're going to land this very first contract that you try, like if you give those type of exacts, you're going to have the federal government knocking at everybody's door. That I know. Look, Al Chapman said, you better run. That I know for certain. You're going to have the feds knocking at your door. And nobody wants the feds knocking at their door, right? Trust me, I know, because I have a friend had the feds knocking on at his door, and he's like, oh, he had to get himself out of that situation. And so a lot of times people, ask the question, well, how soon can I land a contract? Well, it depends on your worth ethic. It depends on how far along are you in your business. It depends on how much of your business foundation needs to be fixed before you can actually even pitch yourself to the government. So there's all these factors that go in, right? So you have to face reality. Not everybody is going to jump in and win contracts. The reason why Kim landed her first contract of $26,000 in 5 weeks is because she already had amazing worth ethic. Her business foundation was already crystal clear. All she had to do was a few little tweaks, right? The reason why Remy, who landed his first $1 million within his first, like, it wasn't even 6 months, right? That's crazy, right? But he landed his first $1 million with it in 2 contracts. 2 contracts got him his first $1 million. And in record time is because he has amazing worth ethic and he was willing to take action on the things and the steps that were laid out for him. Like, do this, and this, okay? Fix this and fix that. And he was an executor. So you have to be an executor. So it depends, right? But what I can say is the way that we design our system of helping people jump into getting into government contracting and learning the process, right? We kind of shorten the time frame. And so that's the reason why people are able to land it in record time. But again, it depends on a lot of other factors. It depends on you for the most part. Are you going to do the work? Some people don't get contracts because they don't do the work. Most people that don't have a system, they don't get government contracts because they don't understand what they're doing, right? But if you know what you're doing, it's still, I would say, give yourself 6 months, 6 to 12 months, following a step-by-step system. It's like, it's almost a no-brainer guarantee if you are doing the work, right? Give yourself a time frame of 6 to 12 months. Could it happen sooner? Absolutely. Even if it happens in 12 months, will it change your life? Absolutely. So you have to understand, like, face the factors, right? And be realistic when it comes to all those different factors. Like, when it comes to government contracts, you have to set realistic goals, right? So face those factors that goes into how soon you can land a government contract. Because a lot of times we look at business owners and entrepreneurs, and we ask you for, like, well, let me have your operations agreement. I don't have one. What is that? You don't even know what that is. That means there's a lot of work that we got to do to prepare you to be the boss that you are. You were called to be, right? It asks entrepreneurs, well, where's your 2 years of taxes? Well, I haven't filed taxes, and in the last time, I filed was like 20 years ago because of X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, we have to work on some things. We have to figure out if you were supposed to pay taxes, if you did file taxes, how to get your copies of the tax. Like, it's all these different things. Like, and so are you prepared? So what we do is we help you get prepared. Like, this is not something that you just sign up for. Like, get in line. I'm gonna sign up for me one of these government contracts. It takes work. I'm about to sign up for me to get one of these government contracts. Yeah, the money is there, but guess what? It's going to force you to be, do, have. It's going to force you to become the person who does the thing, which means you're going to have to grow. It's going to be some growing pains. And yes, you're going to have to dig through records. And yes, you may have to pull out receipts. And yes, you have to strategize on how to position yourself. But it's going to help you to become the person that takes action, the proper action, and understand the actions that you need to take so that you can land the contract, be, do, have. If you want to have a contract, you're going to have to grow. Absolutely. Can you help people that just started their business? Absolutely. That's a really good question. Terrell. Yes, absolutely. We help a lot of people that just started their business, right? Of course, it may take a little bit longer because if you're just starting out, do you have past experience? Like, there's a lot of factors that will go into that, right? So you may be along the 6 to 9 month path versus like people like Remy and Kim who landed their contracts within 3 weeks and 5 weeks, right? So you may just be it may take you longer across that continuum, across that line, right? Just because you're just getting started, and there's a lot of development, like business development things that has to be in place before you can actually start pitching and winning those government contracts. But anyone can do it. Like, you just start today and land a contract like within that time frame. Absolutely. You have to do pre-work. So I want to invite all of you on the sound of my voice to get yourself pre-qualified to sell to the government. I don't know if you saw, for those who probably follow me on social media, I don't know if you saw it, but I think it was like to the tune of $54 billion that Biden just increased on the budget. Well, when you see those types of news clips about the government signing new budgets and things of this nature, they're adding new money and billions of dollars to the budgets and stuff like that. You have to start thinking from a business perspective. A portion, upwards of 26% of that money, is going to trickle down to the business community. They're going to have to utilize business owners. When I say 26%, that's just talking about the certified small businesses, woman-owned, socioeconomic disadvantaged types of businesses. But the whole 54 billion is for entrepreneurs, period, right? That is money that they've already said, here, we're going to add another 54 billion. If the multiple trillions is not enough, we're going to add another 54 billion today in 2023 for X, Y, and Z.